Dr. Kane prepared his test with a thoroughbred jumping horse whose tiny yet painful leg fractures he had already diagnosed. Could Beatrice discover the problem through mental communication with the horse itself?
He had one horse there that was a jumper, and he was having difficulty with him. And he asked me, "Can you tell me what's wrong with him?" When I asked the horse, "How do you feel physically when you're jumping?" he showed me a picture in my mind of him going over the jump. And when he landed on his front feet, I felt sharp pain going down my arms. The pain going down the back of my arms, which would be equal to his splint bone.
Astoundingly, Beatrice had described exactly the fractures in each foreleg.
I was very conscious of the fact that she did not even look at the parts of the horse as we would go about examining them. She stood there and she just communicated, seemingly communicated with the horse. After 5 years from that first initial experience, I still am amazed, and I'm still, well, now I'm very respectful of Beatrice's ability to look into and communicate with an animal's consciousness. I feel that possibly we all might have that ability, and we all should try to exercise it.
For 10 years, Beatrice has traveled the country helping animals and their owners through ESP. In her books, she reveals that the process is still a mystery.
I cannot explain to you what the mode of transmitting the mental pictures and things are. It's nothing that I can say that I can feel. I don't even know that it could be measured on an instrument, but it's there. We're all born with it as children, and you can put children and animals together and they can talk to each other with no problem at all.
Beatrice finds we can recapture this extrasensory ability and reports success teaching owners to communicate with their pets.
Now tonight I'm going to be teaching you a new language transmitted by mental pictures. Now to the degree that you believe in what you're doing, to that degree you will have success, no more and no less. The important thing is that at first you cannot tell if it's something the animal's communicating to you or if it's your imagination. So no matter what you get, no matter what the feeling is, the picture, the hunch, whatever you call it, act on it. Because as you use it, as you practice it, you will begin to tell later on whether it really is your imagination or whether it's something the animal's really telling you. The people that make the best students are the ones that can forget themselves long enough to get inside of something else, to see life from that animal's point of view and say, hey, maybe their motivation's different. People write to me all the time and say, wow, my life is so different, you know. It has just totally changed my attitudes with my animals, and we now have a different relationship.
Professional animal keepers, like those at Kings Island Park in Ohio, ask Beatrice to visit their animals and communicate with them. The results are often striking. She has helped solve the most difficult behavioral and medical problems.
What I hope people will come to understand about themselves, about the animals, and about ESP between us is that here's a new exciting dimension. We have a lot to learn. And I hope that people will really find the dimension of excitement that I'm just beginning to scratch the surface on. It isn't just in our pets, but it's in the whole animal kingdom. And I often wonder if that isn't what God meant when he said, ask the beasts of the field, and they shall teach thee, and the birds of the air, and the fish of the sea, and they shall declare it unto thee.
In all the earth, there are fewer bonds closer than those between us and our animals. From the romping days of childhood to the quieter hours of later years, our animals are there as companions, comforters, and confidants. Many of us feel that this relationship is not hampered by the lack of a common language, because the relationship goes beyond words into the realm of feeling. Just as human beings share ESP experiences with one another, it may be that the bond between humans and animals is but another link on that same chain. The more animal ESP is investigated, the more we may learn that a bond between us and animals is real, and that we are all, in fact, connected in a web of life. Perhaps someday we will communicate clearly and directly with animals, avoiding the barriers of language. And this may lead to better communication among us all. Our exploration of the animal ESP link might help us to discover other secret abilities in ourselves.